Hello and welcome everyone in this video by Impel CRM. In this video for Impel Touch, we are going to be talking on how we have helped farmers in the rural India to increase their productivity and the profitability. We have quite a few numbers of customers where we have successfully implemented Impel Touch and they're using it quite effectively. But in today's video, I'll stick to with one of our successful implementation in rural India. The customer name is Shriram Bioseed. Before I get into what exactly we are doing, how we have helped them to achieve their business roles and targets, I just wanted you to see that how Impel Touch configuration looks like. It's a very simple, easy to use configuration. The salespeople in the fields are finding it very easy to use. They can actually use it with internet connection or without internet connection. They can add the data they wanted even without the internet connection, and once they come to a zone where connectivity is there, they can actually sync the data and all the data will definitely come to the server. So as I was talking, I will just tell what are the ways we are helping the rural Indian seed company and how we are helping to achieve their business target. So there are a couple of things that we are doing for them. We are helping to plan their field sales activity. We are helping them to track the quantity of stocks available with the retailer on different location, engaging customer, we are so that they can get the repeat business, and so on and so forth. There are some key features that we have defined just for Shriram Bioseed, and we have defined the way they should be running their business, or what should be the best approach. So we have pitched, or we have requested the salespeople to identify an influential person in the village whose advice, whose suggestion will be taken by majority of the villagers. So what we have done, we have created something called Thunderbolt registration by SMS. And in rural India, when we talk about rural Indian context, we really needed some simple to use system which can actually make their life easier. Where they're not into that much tech savvy that they can go into fancy tech savvy system. So they needed some simple solution which we have created for them. I'll define you what exactly they're doing it through it. So they are just sending some simple SMS format. Those who are influential people in the village are sending some registration SMS. Once they send the SMS to the system, which is the Impel Touch system, they are getting an automatic response, and those are the some numbers that they're getting, and they're encouraging, or they're advising other farmers, the end user, to register using that particular registration number. We have defined some rewards and recognition program for those people who are having registration and having the end user registration maximum numbers of things. So basically what is happening, how we are tracking. So let's say one salesperson in one taluka has identified one influential person, and that particular influential person has advised or suggested to come more farmers. So that way your Impel database, your Shriram Bioseed database is getting enriched with all these details. When we talk about we are gathering details, we at least at this point of time with one season we have gathered close to 1 lakh data, and we are going down to the datas where we are finding how much of acres of land they have, what are the different crops they work on, what are the different issues that they have. So all these details that can be sent by a very simple easy to send SMS, and all these can be added in their contact, associated with their contact along with that salesperson. We have also defined, or we have created a few people who will be using Impel Touch. They'll be carrying the tablet or the Android phone where Impel Touch will be installed, but they're not the inside salesperson from the Bioseed company. So when we talk about it, we have defined something called MDO and their night activity. So most of the time MDO will be addressing to a group of people. They will call for a meeting, or they'll call for a night activity where MDOs will be talking about what are the features of the seed, what are the things that they can do, how it can increase their productivity, and what are the, if they have any issues, how they can effectively solve those problems, what are that is there in their mind, what are the things that they're looking at on the pricing, and everything they can discuss in this night activity. So when a MDO starts a night activity, he is sending again a simple SMS to the system, and Impel is again generating a code. Now the people, those who are attending these night activity, are getting those codes and the MDO is encouraging them to again register through this simple SMS process by using those codes. So what is happening, these particular MDO, we can track how many farmers have registered from that particular activity, and in total how many farmers is actually getting added from this MDO. When we talk about they are taking pictures in rural India, when you take pictures and there is an easy to send SMS options, they get encouraged, they are interested, they feel much involved, and they're much entertained, so they're actually finding it really easy to use, and they are actually using it. So at the end, what is happening with the Shriram Bioseed, with very less effort, they are getting the end users data. The Shriram Bioseed Impel Touch is having 1 lakh, as I've mentioned before, 1 lakh, more than a lakh, maybe close to a lakh at this point of time, villagers data with their talukas, with the village, with how many crops they are cultivating, or how many acres of land they are, what are the things that they're interested in. All these has already been created in Impel, and Shriram Bioseed has all the information of their end customers, which is the farmers data. Now we also suggested, and Shriram Bioseed also have introduced something called Kishan or Farmers Call Center. Since these farmers have already registered themselves with their name and with all the information that is required, Shriram Bioseed had created their enriched data, and when people are calling, their names and numbers, and which locality they're calling from, what are the crops they bought, what are the things that they're interested, all these things are popping up. So when the call center's agents, the Shriram Bioseed call center people are taking this call, it's taking them lesser time to solve their problem or guide them in the direct way. I already talked about how they're taking pictures, or how datas are getting synced in the system. That way we will come to know from one activity through an MDO how many leads are getting generated, or so on and so forth, and whether what kind of activity is making them register more, having them interest. We also can do a couple of other stuff, like since they'll be using tablet and also the Android phone Impel Touch, we have enabled something called GPS enabled services. So wherever the sales people, wherever these MDOs are traveling, at the end the manager or the management level people will get an idea what are the places they have visited, which are the places they have been to one particular place, and they can do a lot of stuff with that, start from expense management to travel expenses and stuff like that. One of the thing I must mention about how in Shriram Bioseed business we have made a difference. So one of the problem last year they were facing, actually in one particular taluka and the village, one particular seed was having some disease, and disease spread very fast, and this seed business actually it's extremely short selling season, so they have to find the solution within few days, and otherwise they will not be able to sell their seeds. So what was happening, they were having some disease with one particular seed in one particular locality. So what did the salesperson do? It was a very smart solution. He took a picture within a fractions of time. He sent it to their research center. Couple of hours, research center has worked on what exactly the disease is, how to overcome, what are the solution, and the salespeople or the MDO has given the same data to the end user, to the farmers, and farmer has used it effectively. So that actually creates a value in the farmers understanding, yeah, these seed companies really looking at my problem, is really interested solving my problem. I can call these call centers, they have all my data when I call. For the people who are very simple in village, in rural India, those are the things that makes a lot of difference in their life. So I'll show you a couple of screenshot where exactly what are doing. So this is like how the bold farmers data are getting added in the Impel. It's creating an enriched database for Shriram Bioseed, which is actually helping them a lot to understand what exactly inventory for their dealers and distributors, how much of inventory they should really stock. That's really helping them every way. This is the screen, and this is the way you can actually see what are the places this guy particularly has landed, which is the place where exactly he is in. So those are the stuff that they're really doing it, and Shriram Bioseed is extremely happy with this kind of installation, and there are more seed companies are coming up, and they also wanted to do this kind of solution so that they can actually help plan their field sales activity, track the quantity, repeat business, engage the customer into the process. I appreciate everybody listening to this video. Thank you everyone. And if you have any question, please send us an email at support@impelcrm.in. We also have a forum. Please post your question and we'll be happy to answer that for you. Thanks everyone.